The Unkept Harold returns in Borderlands 4, and honestly, it's a bit better than you'd think. I've been seeing a lot of comments on my videos saying that this weapon is absolutely terrible, and honestly, it's not as good as it was in Borderlands 2, but it can still be plenty strong with the right setup. So, where this weapon truly shines is it's got this very large spread to it, so bosses like Thol the Invincible here are actually shredded by this weapon because he's able to get hit by all the pellets, and when using the newly nerfed Gloam to Glow, you can actually do some pretty insane damage. Now, I've been able to consistently get the platinum time against this boss while using this weapon, so it's not bad as some of the other weapons in this game if it's able to do that. And again, it isn't as perfect as it was in Borderlands 2, but as you can see right here, you are able to just shred thol the Invincible while using this, and it is pretty fun to use because of the wide spread that it does. This weapon is a bit difficult to use while mobbing, but I do have some ideas on how this weapon could be a bit better if Gearbox wanted to maybe tweak it or add some new gear rolls to it, but as you saw right there, you're capable of getting the platinum time with this. And the thing is, I wasn't even using the best roll. I've seen this get over 20k DPS. I was just using a 15k DPS version of the fire one here, and that was more than enough. The main thing is you need to have the ripper part on this weapon to make it good, because that increases the fire rate considerably, making this thing actually shred. And compared to some of the other weapons that were added in this new DLC, the Constable I think is the best weapon. Even when using a level 59 Constable, this thing is just so overpowered, it's kind of crazy. And even things like the new jailbroken Gatling are also extremely powerful too, because you can get this with a shotgun loader and it does pretty insane stuff. But for a pistol, we've had some crazy Torque pistols so far, like the Shalasha Skull weapon, which was added with one of the previous bounty packs. What this does is it can ricochet and add a ton of extra damage. And we also had things like the Scoot and Shoot with the latest update, which is also a very powerful weapon as well. But I've been farming for the Herald quite a bit, and I haven't been able to find the 20k DPS or above ones. I found some terrible rolls with only 8k DPS, and I gotta say, one of the best rolls for this is to get the Ripper parts on it to increase the fire rate quite a bit. If you can get ones that'll have stickies on it, the stickies honestly are not that amazing, but when you get it with the Ripper part, it does insane amounts of damage. What makes it a bit tricky to use though is this very wide spread that it has, and this is only going to be good against large bosses. Again, against mobs, you're likely only going to hit one or two of the projectiles on enemies, but with a particular build like this one here, Cash's build with when we roll into the green and the red skill trees, Gloam to Glow actually works very well with this. Despite getting a heavy nerf, it can still do some pretty crazy stuff, and I don't even have the perfect build for this. Like I don't even have any firmware set up on here. My class mods aren't even ideal, and I wasn't even using a very powerful enhancement to make this even better. And unfortunately, my game is glitched, and I can't unlock Ultimate Vault Hunter 7 on Cash, but I've unlocked it on every other Vault Hunter. It's kind of strange. So you can see here when we're going against some of the new bosses, like this is just using the fire one against shields and things that are obviously it's not excelling against. The damage is not always that great, but where it really shines is if you can get as many of these projectiles to hit and have that Gloam to Glow stack on it, that's where it really does the damage. So your roll may vary. Obviously it's got the pearlescent roll so that it's able to get different types of elemental damage. You're going to want one with the elemental rolls on it because that's where it really shines. But yeah, it actually does do considerable amounts of damage against Thol the Invincible, as you see here. We're actually shredding his health very quickly. This is equipping an enhancement that's actually boosting it up even further. Previously, I was just using the regular old roll of it with a normal enhancement that didn't benefit us. But yeah, the damage from this thing is actually pretty nice, especially if you're using this particular build. I'll have that linked in the comments. But as far as this weapon goes, I do wish it had some different rolls for it. One of the best rolls that was added into this game was the Daedalus shotgun loader, and I think that would go really hard on this weapon. So hopefully Gearbox adds a few more rolls to these things, because I think that would make this weapon a very powerful and almost considerable to the Borderlands 2 version. I don't think this weapon needs to be as strong as the Borderlands 2 version, because as you can see, it is still pretty good, despite what comments would lead you to believe. It's just not perfect. And again, there it is, platinum time in Ultimate Vault Hunter 6, because it can't get Vault Hunter 7. But even with a non-perfect roll, this weapon is still pretty strong. So let me know your thoughts on the Unkept Herald. I do wish it was a bit better, but if they were to toss on a Daedalus shotgun loader or Jacobs, I think this thing would be crazy. But as it stands currently, it's not that bad. So yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hit the subscribe button below, and we'll catch you in the next one.